The coronavirus has been a major shock to the growth prospects of the global economy.
All sectors will be impacted.
Industry, trade, hotels, retail, you name it.
170 countries are going to see income per capita falling.
The current economic crisis caused by COVID is the most serious since the Second World War. The World Bank predicts that GDP will be reduced by more than $10 trillion in these years as a result of the pandemic. This could elevate higher due to the long-term effect on investment, education, and mental health. This pandemic has accelerated global pre-pandemic economic, social, and technology trends with both difficulties and opportunities. Recent research estimates 6 years to vaccinate the world. Restriction will continue in many countries. So how manage your employer branding strategy through the COVID crisis? To find out, I'm going to talk to 3 European employer branding leaders to try predicting the 5 key impacts of economic, social, and technological trends. At the same time, for each of these trends, we will carry out an analysis and make recommendations on Carlsberg employer brand. Many countries have adopted economic recovery plans to mitigate the effects of the financial and economic crisis. Economic recovery is uncertain despite government stimulus. For example, rise of cryptocurrency as Bitcoin. Majority of economists believe that once the effects of the pandemic have subsist, employment will return to previous level. The question is, after this crisis, we will enter in deflationary spiral or systemic inflation. A recession can have negative effects on international trade, but post-COVID consumer behavior will change and this new behavior pattern will transform the future of industry, such as fashion and right to remain issue in some countries where clothes are manufactured. Households consume much less either out of impossibility or out of fear of the future. Loss of income may reduce training opportunities and increase the shortage of talent. Countries with lower GDP might be more affected during the pandemic. Support work from home setup. Support employees in affected areas and adapt compensation and benefits to current situation. Work together with local governments and fund projects that support local development. As the price of basic products increase, families will struggle to live comfortably with their income. We have one recommendation in long term: keep the balance of salaries and inflation to keep our employees comfortable and engaged. We know the pandemic has taken a toll on everybody and we want to minimize its effect. Even if demand is high, plants in supply chain may be closed due to lockdown measures. Limiting the number of employees at work to avoid an epidemic and providing all the necessary safety equipment. Access to regular COVID testing for all employees. Establishment for a local team to access the situation and adapt to state guidelines. In the case of factories that close due to general drop in profit, it may be necessary to lay off people and not replace them with permanent employees. Favor internal mobility and reclassification within the group as a first step to limit layoff. Creation of a job research directory and LinkedIn profiles to help with job research in events that certain employees cannot be reclassified within the group. What is the top 5 social trends? Risk slowing down the progress of development in emerging countries and worldwide, accelerating the increase in income inequality, affecting in particular students, young workers, women, and seniors. Great test of tomorrow's collaborative world. Companies will have to win the trust of all stakeholders in a long-term basis. It will be characterized by a culture of leadership, growth mindset, and hybrid working. In the long term, consumers adopt new habits and behavior that will impact corporate strategies. Selection criteria, health, sustainability, and commitment on traditional local projects. Opportunity for industry to become more attractive, for example health, to ensure talent shortages do not impact service delivery, as we see in sectors such as aged care, mental health, in many countries. These periods therefore show us the need to focus on results and employee well-being rather than physical presence. Let's apply our social analysis to Carlsberg. The business impact will be: employees belong to different social classes. The global financial crisis might affect them in different ways. Some of them might be the only source of income for their families. Understand the social need of our employees. And 2, create support groups that can provide assistance to families close to the company. Many schools are closed and some parents need to readjust their work schedule to care of their children. Review and update our work at home policy. Organize weekly online events for employees and their children. Give employees the possibility to take off a sabbatical or temporarily reduce their working hours. Lifestyle attitude. Social distancing and confinement have an impact on our lifestyle. Rethink our wellness strategy. With restriction regarding social life, traveling, and leisure, mental health is becoming an issue worldwide. Offer mental health support to employees and their family. Create opportunity to celebrate with employees with gifts, message, events, and special initiatives to engage, develop mental health strategy and funds. The urge to create a safe environment for employees that can work from home and for those who need to be on the site. Provide employees with hygiene material that will keep them safe at work and at home. Offer extra coverage for those employees who are with the higher risk groups. Internet connectivity exposes the digital divide like never before. Even in developed countries, access to the internet is often lower than we can imagine. The digital transformation allows the development of the employee experience. Strong security culture development to protect against cyber attacks. Employers should provide adequate equipment for telework for confidentiality, reliability, performance, and for example, teleworkers kit. And finally, level of innovation. Company needs to ensure scope of chatbot is clear. Airlines and e-commerce, for example, have not done this well, leading to increasing customer dissatisfaction. This also impacts employee and reputation. At the end, let's apply our technologic analysis to Carlsberg. Working remotely might become an issue if the internet connection is slow. Our recommendation: review the policy of work from home. As teams are working remotely, getting things done effectively might become a challenge. Our recommendation: review all the tools we currently have. As people are working from home, our cybersecurity becomes more vulnerable. 2 recommendations: provide employees with knowledge and support the secure connectivity during remote work. 2. Establishing a culture of security through regular training course. For some departments, is it really difficult to work remotely, especially if they need a computer with special programs or features? One recommendation: make sure our employees have all the right tools to conduct their activity efficiently. And finally, level of innovation. In the longer term, investment in automation and new technology will create new projects, services, and business models. Provide tools that help digitize the work, offer resources to make the digital work up to date, establish real-time systems to collate employee plus candidate experience to respond and adapt quickly to the issues. In spite of certain economic crises, the post-COVID period seems to represent a lot of hope for the benefit of a better and fairer world, and above all, more human. Do you think your new way of working is less or more sustainable? Let me know in the comments. Bye!